At long last, the day has finally come. Only 2 years after the announcement of Assassin's Creed VR, we finally have a trailer that shows no gameplay. It's progress. I'll say it's progress. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. Now, this game was originally announced at like the launch event for the MetaQuest 2 when it came out in 2021, and then they basically never talked about it again up until this year. A couple other games that fell into that bucket. GTA VR was also announced at that.
I'm excited to announce that the Rockstar Games classic Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is in development for Quest 2.
And we never heard anything ever again about that one, and I don't think we ever will because I don't think it's going to happen. They also announced at that same Connect event Splinter Cell VR, which was quickly canceled after they sold enough headsets to people who wanted to play that game. I'm sort of joking about that last part, but I bought the headset originally because I wanted to play Splinter Cell VR, and I was a little upset when they canceled it. That being said, I'm trying to be optimistic. I'm an optimist now. They recently announced that, they recently re-announced Assassin's Creed VR for the second time, and apparently it's actually happening now. So we're going to watch a couple things here and really break it down. The first thing is the initial Assassin's Creed VR announcement that they were going to be announcing it. That happened a couple days ago, and then we'll watch the actual announcement trailer that happened after they announced it again for the third time in 3 years. If this doesn't make sense to you, it shouldn't. It's weird. Now, this happened at this year's MetaQuest Gaming Showcase 2023.
I know you've been waiting for an update on Assassin's Creed in VR.
I have, that's correct.
And I have good news.
Oh, good news.
Assassin's Creed Nexus is coming to the MetaQuest store by the end of the year.
What a logo.
Ubisoft Forward on June 12th for the full reveal of Assassin's Creed Nexus.
So that was it. We basically got an announcement this year, 12 days ago, telling us that they would be announcing the game soon at this Ubisoft event, which just happened yesterday. Now, if you take a look, by the way, if you take a look at the comments, a lot of people seem to be feeling the way I feel. This won't matter at all and be worthless and a waste if you don't give us the Atlantis Tour mode for VR. I don't know what he's talking about, actually. What are you talking about? What is Atlantis Tour? Just saw the full reveal. It wasn't a full reveal. That's what we're about to watch, what this guy's talking about. So I'm excited to see this full reveal that's not a full reveal. Like they said there, they then came to the full reveal at the Ubisoft event, which was only a minute 25. So it's a pretty short full reveal. Everything I've heard online so far from Twitter sphere, you know, VR Twitter, which is a very scary place to be. Everybody's been complaining that this trailer is all CGI. None of it shows gameplay, which, in my opinion, and the opinion of most people in VR, big mistake. You can watch an animation of someone doing really cool stuff, and then the game will come out, and it might just be some weird, clunky point-and-click adventure. Or it might just not work at all like Hitman VR. My point is, after 3 years of waiting, you'd think that they'd have like a full gameplay reveal, and that's why people are a little bit nervous here, is that they didn't show off any gameplay, apparently, we're about to see. That might be a sign that maybe they don't have a lot to show off on the gameplay side. I hope I'm wrong. Great logo. Blah. Okay, so they start off with the classic setup. So this is the classic setup for all of the Meta commercials, is it starts with them putting on their Quest headset and being like, look, it's relatable. This guy's in a living room. You have a living room. Not bad. My Quest is a lot dirtier than that one, though. Okay, so now we're entering the Animus, the Meta Animus. Yeah, pre-rendered animations only, not actual gameplay. Anytime I see that little disclaimer, I get depressed. Because you know the actual game is not going to be this cool. And if the game was super cool, you should have just shown us how super cool it was. So we could be like, hey, that looks cool. This is like they're trying to sell you on the vision of what they're going for with the game before they actually show you. Looks cool. I don't like this whole transition effect because it kind of makes it look like this guy's like leaping in his bedroom and shooting arrows while leaping around the room. Okay, bow and arrows. They have multiple characters. And see, this is the part where I'm like, you're probably promising too much. The biggest issue with VR games right now is the combat. I have played very few games that have combat that is engaging, especially physics-based combat. It's just hard to do. That's why Blade and Sorcery is such a staple. It does look like it could be cool. If they're able to live up to any of this, it could be cool. This This, by the way, is a game that's supposed to be running natively on Quest headsets, so I'm assuming Quest 2, Quest Pro, and the Quest 3 when that comes out. I'm assuming that. Don't quote me. I'm not a intelligent person. It looks cool. See, this is why you can't do trailers like this. Just show the gameplay, because the minute you show the guy alone in his room flailing his arms around, it immediately looks not cool to people who aren't into VR. Like, if you just showed the cool gameplay, people would get it. You know what I mean? We don't need to see the guy flailing his arms around like a maniac. Nexus VR. There you go. Looks like it could be a cool game. Again, if they're able to like deliver on any of what this is promising, then I'm super excited. My fear is that they may not. Oh, you can add it to your wish list. And I saw someone talking about this. They said that supposedly there are real photos of actual gameplay shots on the Quest listing, so let's test that. Let's go take a look. Intuitive combat using real-world interactions. That's what I'm excited about, because canned animations in combat in VR immediately takes me out. I don't like it out of the can. Cook it on the griddle, baby. They got tomahawks, swords, full-body avatar, so they're promising a lot, and they seem confident. Okay, so these are supposedly in-game screenshots, so let's enlarge. Enhancing. Honestly, if it looks like this inside of a Quest 2, I'm pretty impressed. You can already see the shadows are a little off. The people look a little lifeless in their facial expressions. But, you know, if they can get it working with this sort of map of this size, especially, that you can free roam in, that would be cool. Yeah, I honestly, just looking at this screenshot, if this is actually in-game, which I think it is, I'm getting very Blade and Sorcery vibes from the combat, which I wouldn't be upset at if they cleaned it up a little bit. This is parkour, I guess. You can grab onto branches. You can already tell this is Quest 2 because the texture on that branch looks pretty low poly. Throwing knives. You got throwing knives. Really looking at these screenshots, it looks amazing for a Quest 2 game, and it makes me wish they just made this for PC. So what are my final thoughts? Well, like I said, I'm holding out reservations, though it is nice that they have these screenshots here, so we at least have an image of what the gameplay might probably look like. And this does look better than I was expecting. I was expecting like Hitman 2 levels of messed up in VR, but we'll have to wait and see.